canonical representation of bandpass signals. So when you go for this topic, why exactly we are studying this canonical representation means the theoretical formulas we know that the bandpass signal, it is a modulated signal, and this modulated signal, when it has to be converted into only a real part of it, then we go for complex envelope, as well as we'll go for a pre-envelope, and from the pre-envelope to get back the bandpass signal, we'll go for a complex envelope. But is there any supporting block diagrams or standards to represent these canonic signals, bandpass signals, in a diagrammatic form? That is where we are going for this canonical representation of bandpass signals. When you look at this canonical representation of the bandpass signals, we started with the transmitting signal and the receiving signal. When you look at the transmitting section, here S of t is the modulated bandpass signal. When it is transmitted over a channel and received at the receiver, this will be in the form of an canonical representation. Then only we can see that both the transmitter and the receiver, when they are signals, they are diagrammatically represented and physically feasible to generate and reconstruct the signals, then only it is termed to be a complete bandpass signal in canonical representation. So for that, what we started, we have considered S of t as a bandpass signal, and by the definition of this pre-envelope, the bandpass signal, the pre-envelope, it is the real part of your bandpass signal. That is what we have considered. It is true if and only if your S of t, it is, that is a signal S of t, you have considered only with respect to the real part of the complex envelope, where S tilde of t is a complex. You can call this as equation 1. See, what is this pre-envelope? Pre-envelope, it is nothing but how you are going to represent this pre-envelope. You can represent this pre-envelope as S of t plus j into S cap of t. This is what pre-envelope. So this from the pre-envelope, if you want to get back your real signal or your signal S of t, how it is possible? The imaginary content should go as 0. So that is equal to, whenever the imaginary component it is going 0, or considering the imaginary component, neglecting the imaginary component and considering only the real component from an pre-envelope, you can get your signal, original bandpass signal back. So when you take up this real signal is nothing but a complex envelope signal, isn't it? So that complex envelope signal, it is a real part of that complex envelope signal when we are considering, because this complex envelope of this signal S of t, when you are taking, how you have represented? It is the in phase component and the quadrature component addition. Do you remember all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you are taking only, if you want to get back your original signal, the complex envelope, how do you derive from the complex envelope the original signal? So you have to consider only the in phase component and you have to neglect the imaginary. So therefore, when I go for this S of t, based on this concept, S of t I have derived as real part of complex envelope. So therefore, we can, S of t is a complex valued function. If you consider this complex valued function, how you will be representing that complex valued function, which is equal to Si of t in general. In general, we can represent the complex envelope as Si of t plus j into Sq of t. So there will be an in-phase component as well as the quadrature component. So where Si of t is the in-phase component and Sq of t is the quadrature component of the signal, bandpass signal. Now, this Sq of t and Si of t both are real valued functions only, but there is a small difference between this Sq of t and Si of t. What is that? What is the difference between Si of t and Sq of t? Si of t and Sq of t, they have same frequency, they have same magnitude, but only the phase shift will be 90 degrees. That is what the actual difference between the Sq of t and Si of t. Frequency amplitudes will be same. But this quadrature component, it is nothing but, since it is a phase shift of 90 degrees, you can represent that is equal to Hilbert transform signal. Now with this understanding, let us move further forward. We know that from the pre-envelope, if we have to derive our signal back, that is S of t, you can consider only the real part of pre-envelope. You can call this as equation number 3. And the complex envelope, if you are deriving, it is S tilde of t, it is equal to S plus of t into e to the power of j2 pi fct. This S plus of t is given by what? S tilde of t into e to the power of j2 pi fct. So what is this S tilde of t? Is it plus or minus? This is minus. Okay. Pre-envelope, it is S tilde of t e to the power of j2 pi fct. You can call this as equation number 4 is S plus of t and S of t as equation number 5. Okay. You call this as equation number 5. From this equation number 5, 4, 3, let us move forward. Now substitute, which is our equation number 2. Please look at here. Here complex envelope, it is given as Si of t plus j into Sq of t. To this equation, what we are doing, we are substituting equation number 5. So equation number 5 is, here S of t, it is derived from complex envelope. So therefore, you can take this 5 as, after substituting equation number 2 in equation number 5, you can get your S of t, that is a signal, bandpass signal, as real part of Si of t plus j into Sq of t, whole thing we have substituted for S cap of t.